This is Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Brought to you by Leading Lights, LLC. Hello and welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. I'm Cecil Kenny.
And I'm Raphael Babchuk. Today, we'll break down the loss to Nashville midweek and give you our reaction to the MLS salaries being released. Big thanks to Leading Lights LLC for sponsoring this episode. More on them later. For now, let's dive into this exclusive episode on this match versus Nashville.
Alright, so it's a back and forth match, as we all know.
Yeah.
It's 3-2 final.
Mm-hmm.
Upsetting to say the least.
Yeah, definitely upsetting, I'll say.
We both predicted a loss, but we'll get to that in a moment. Yule was forced to start.
Yeah, Yule was forced to start due to upholster sickness.
Yeah.
So
hopefully he's back soon.
100%.
He's been really good this season.
Yeah.
But we just really hope he's back soon.
100%.
He looked good at the start. Well, not him. We as a team looked good at the start, but we started to lose it towards the end.
Definitely not him.
That first chunk-like goal. Oh my god.
Incredible.
That was
you were
incredible.
at the game. I was not at the game. I was watching it at home.
I know
I saw that goal, and it was definitely, I think it was my favorite goal of the season. Better than the Carlos Hill free kick, which was our first open play goal of the season.
That's not open play.
I mean our first goal that was an own goal of the season. Our first R goal, technically. But I think that was my favorite goal of the season. The pass and then the finish was just absolutely immaculate. It was incredible.
It was amazing.
Yeah. It was just
that was lost just a half hour later. With Surge's late goal in the first half. We returned from the break, and we retake the lead by Brian Ceballos with a beautiful header.
Which initially they didn't say it was Brian Ceballos.
Yeah,
in the stadium for you.
In the stadium, they said a Rudy, which is weird.
Yeah, right.
And
why would they ever think he would score?
And they celebrated Luis Diaz, why do I keep saying Luis Diaz? Brian Ceballos knew he scored that goal, because, it came off his head.
Right, yeah.
He celebrates. They all go to celebrate with their new set piece coordinator, because there was a free kick that led to that header, and then he ran up to the camera and showed his shin guard that had his wife and his daughter on it, which was really cool. And then by the time they ended up correcting it, Nashville had already tied the game. Yeah. So we have a update to who scored that Revs goal, and it was Brian Ceballos, and Nashville had already scored.
Took all the excitement out of that. Immediately after.
It was 2 minutes later.
Nashville just fought back all game. Going out of halftime, you have this whole pep talk. Which BJ Callahan was probably pumping up his team, and then immediately to go down, I feel like that's when you lose all hope. But they fought back, and that's credit to Nashville.
It's crazy. And then Fofana had that poor penalty caused, and Serge completed his hat trick.
Which I think we agree that. I agree that was kind of
a
light foul.
It was
not a light foul, a light call
was cheap,
for the penalty.
It was either way. It was cheap.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was unneeded at all.
From my angle, he was facing the opposite way. Yeah. I could be wrong.
No, he was. I don't know. Fofana was just that was a poor decision making on his part.
Bad decision making. Mm-hmm. But the ref performance.
Yeah.
Was a bit iffy.
I don't think it was terrible, but it wasn't
we should have possibly had a penalty.
Right. Yeah.
But
I thought they were gonna give it to us. In the end, they didn't.
It could have been better.
Yeah.
I wish. But that's out of our control, and we just have to play better.
Uh-huh.
Obviously Nashville is a very good team.
Right. Surge ended up,
but we were very close.
Yeah.
And it's not something incredible.
Yeah.
A loss is never something you want to be proud of, but I thought the team looked somewhat decent.
Yeah. What's it called? Surge ended up scoring a hat trick, even though they were talking on the broadcast. They were like, and they wanted to give it to his second goal to the other guy, and it was back and forth. But it is official that he did get his hat trick. He's currently the Golden Boot leader. He is not on the MLS All-Star team, which is insane to be the goal lead. He's the Golden Boot leader, and they don't put him on, which is insane in my opinion.
He's been very good this season.
Yeah, very good. Look at the goals he scored. I think that's crazy that he's not on there.
For stats, it was 50-50 possession, but Nashville had almost an entire one more expected goal than us. We had 1.29. They had 2.59.
They had 6 shots on target. Well, we had 4. Again, at least we had some shots on target, which sometimes has been a struggle. Nashville had 3 big chances
versus our 2.
Yeah.
It says we missed one. I'm struggling to find out which one that was.
Yeah.
So I wasn't totally sure. We didn't have too many big chances, but we also scored 2 goals. So
Right. Yeah. Scored more than the expected goals, so that's something.
Nashville also did.
Yes.
Continuing on, Nashville did play a bit dirty, especially Eddie Tagsteth, who I talked about previously. He played He didn't play great. Not that he didn't play great. He just kept following Carlos and the Revs in their first match. And now he's done the same this match. If we were given a penalty, it would have been called on him. Because that's where the foul happened, and it's because of him.
100%.
And so he played a bit dirty and stood in Nashville. 20 fouls.
20 fouls that's like an Inter Miami start of the season level of fouls.
That's exactly, yeah. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest performance for the Revs, but
2 straight losses is not what you want to see.
No, especially
at all. And I really don't especially we got to win Saturday. And if we don't win Saturday, even if we get a draw, there's going to be lingering, I don't know what to call. Expect of disappointment.
Talks.
We're going to go back to the start of the season where we were losing every game and the amount of inconsistency. We need to get
just like last season when not like the same time period, but we were doing poorly. We hit this one really good streak in I think it was July, maybe August. I'm not sure, and then we plummet form again.
Yeah, we got to make the push for the playoffs. That's for sure. I know we still have a couple games in hand. I think it's 2 right now.
But we can't rely on those.
No, we got to push for the playoffs. We got to push.
We have to do well.
If we don't make the playoffs again, that's I think we can make the playoffs. And listen, we have the amount of games. We just need to push. That's all we need to do. We need to push hard for the playoffs, and we're close to all the teams. So we're in the race. We just got. I really want us to be in the playoffs this year.
I want that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go to a playoff
We used 5 subs. My highlight is Langoni for Beeson or Campana for Rudy. Both came back from injury, and I just thought Langoni looked semi-decent. He didn't provide that star power, but I feel like he looked better than he had in games, and he also came back from injury. So both a plus.
Yeah. Rudy, again, does nothing. No. The fact that they credited the goal in the stadium was kind of crazy. Why would they think he'd score? I don't get that. Rudy has got to get off the team. It's just such disappointment with him. In and out. He can't do it. It's like you're starting on a striker and you already start with, you're already all right, well, he can't score. So, you just work around that. I don't understand it.
We need to go get a striker.
100%.
If you want to hear us highlight a striker that we should target, courtesy of Tom Bogart and his report, go check out our last episode where we also talk about the Colorado game on Saturday, which we will not be talking about this episode. But if you want to hear about that, go check out our last episode.
Yeah, this is just an exclusive because we did get the
salaries
out. So we wanted to make this episode quick.
And the match happened.
Yeah, right. So we're all right, salaries out, the match happened, let's do it.
And so our predictions about the game weren't good.
Yeah.
You had Surge. You had Surge doing well. He got a hat trick. 1-0 loss was kind of far from the truth.
Yes.
I had a 2-1 loss, but Chunkla scored that first goal.
Yeah, Chunkla and you did say that.
I did say that. So
you also did say Carlos, so what's what I remember, and he got an assist. So. And it was an incredible assist, I have to say. It was the fact that goal has to be it's definitely the best goal of the season, just as I said. It was great. Incredible goal.
Our this was going to start to conclude our first section before we get into those salaries. But we've got one good, one bad. I feel like we had some good moments in the game. I thought we definitely didn't look incredible, but we had good moments. And 50-50 possession. We're sitting 11th. They're sitting 3rd. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not something to be proud of.
Yeah.
You should never be proud of a loss, but it was a valiant effort, as I would say.
We had some good players along, even if we're good players.
Yeah.
I think for me, during the game, I want to say, what was your man and match during the game?
That's a good point. I completely skipped over that.
Yeah.
Thomas Junkalai.
Yeah.
1 goal, 1 assist.
I was going to say Carlos.
Really?
Cappy, because I feel like he floats in that space as, the attacking midfielder. And, he can go on the right, he can go on the left, and he takes so many defenders with him that, frees up space for everybody else. He's such an important player. I keep saying that. But I mean, he was great. Also, he was great during the game. So I have to highlight that. But I agree with you,
Chocolate did really good this year.
And he has to. I hope he continues the form because I really want him back to his incredible form.
To his best.
Yeah, back to his best.
That'd be great. Moving back to the one good, one bad, Jackson Ewell.
Yeah.
Why is he starting? Anyways, Mamadou Fofana, his performances of the last few matches, just not there. He's been slower.
Yep.
It just hasn't been as good. He caused the penalty.
Yep.
He needs to
get better because he's a great defender. He was playing great, and you just got to get back in that form.
And so we can we need him to be better.
Yeah, 100%. That's just all we need. It's simple.
We had such.
He's got to get back to form. I do think it's because that injury that he kind of suffered a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be that.
But hopefully
he's looked weaker. He's looked a little slower. Hopefully he gets back.
Yeah, we need him to get back to his best. But with that, I'm gonna send it over to Leading Lights LLC, the sponsor of this podcast. Unlock the power of your platform data with Leading Lights, experts in transforming raw numbers into compelling benchmarks. Leading Lights helps a variety of companies turn insights into engaging stories that drive growth. Elevate your brand with data-driven content that captivates your audience and sets you apart from the competition with Leading Lights. Visit their website at leadinglights.io to see how you can transform your platform data.
Hello and welcome back to Foxboro's Fortress. I'm Rafael Babchuk.
And I'm Cecil Kenny. Let's get into those salaries, shall we? So, kicking it off. Carlos Hill is obviously making the most. Best player on the team. I think we can all agree on that.
Everyone should agree on that.
He's making top 10 money, though.
He is. Top 10 money.
Is he performing top 10, though?
He is not.
I don't think so either.
He's not performing.
And neither does Footy New England. Thank you for commenting. 16th as per Footy New England. 16th in guaranteed compensation. Carlos Hill is getting paid top 10 money and is not top 10 performing.
100% agree.
Completely agree with that. Yeah, he's not been performing.
Listen, he's still been great, but he has to keep up to that level if we keep paying him this amount of money. Because this amount of money restricts us from, buying that striker that we all need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really need to
step it up. Step it up. Yeah, 100%.
If you're going to get paid top 10, be top 10.
You got to be top 10. And if not, either you got to acknowledge that you're not top 10 so you don't earn that money, or you start acting and play like you are top 10.
Yeah.
One or the other.
And
that's got to be shown soon.
Who's someone that they're not top 10, but is very good? Who's getting scammed?
Peyton Miller.
Making nothing.
Making nothing. Guaranteed he was making $106,000 for his salary is just $104. But that is crazy. This guy is our best, obviously, left back. He's such a young guy, and we got to lock him down. I don't understand why we're paying this guy scraps. Now, obviously, that's not scraps. But compared to the rest in his form, that's nothing. I also want to highlight our other fullback, Eli Feingold, who has $575 guaranteed, and that's what he's making. I just think that compared to the level that these other players that we'll talk about later that are making that amount of money, he should be up there. He's been an all-star all season long. Playing him and Peyton Miller have just been the duo on the fullback position. So I think they both deserve an upgrade. I think they both deserved around the same. I think Peyton Miller being paid that low is kind of an insult. Eli Feingold, I could kind of see 575, maybe a little more up, 600, 650 or something. But Peyton Miller definitely needs an upgrade from the scraps that he is getting from underneath the table. A raise, let's just,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he's coming from the academy. They don't get paid.
Yeah.
Much coming out of the academy. Malcolm Fry making 90 to 96. What is it? 96 guaranteed, 90K salary. Demario McIntosh, 81K salary, 90K guaranteed. Suarez 104 to 117. Even Suarez is making more guaranteed.
He's not even on the team. Thiago's not even on the team. For now, he's on loan. So I love. Not on the team. He's obviously on the team, but he's not. He's not playing for them right now as he's on loan. Another player I think that deserves kind of a little upgrade is Aljaž Ivačić. 625 guaranteed is good. 540, but I think maybe just a little bit. Yesterday he made a couple great saves. And I feel like he's just been solid all year long. That I think last season I would have said he needs we need to pay him less. Right now I think we got to pay him a little more. He's been an all-star.
Yeah.
Not like I wouldn't say all-star like being an all-star team, but
Yeah,
for our team he's
how many players have been an all-star on our team? You say.
Would I say on
0.
our team? Let's see. 6.
Well, none of them have.
Obviously on our team, but I mean, I thought we're talking about.
No.
Carlos Hill's just carrying us with all the obviously former MLS MVP.
Like, and he's also far and away.
I would say
getting
on our
paid the
team,
most
no,
on our
not
team.
6. If I would say somebody to be on the MVP, all-star team, I think Carlos Hill still deserves to be in it, even if he's not playing his top 10 level. I think Carlos Hill deserves to be there. I want to say both are fullbacks.
Well, if Serge isn't on there.
That's great. If Serge isn't on there, I feel like the whole Arsenal thing is kind of an insult we shouldn't even bother.
Yeah.
If Serge isn't on there and he's the top scorer.
Serge, that's
kind of a joke to me.
it is a joke. Should we address the elephant in the room yet?
I want to wait. I want to wait for the elephant in the room.
You
I do
know
want
what?
to talk about Thomas Chonkalai, who's still making $1.1 million guaranteed.
He is a DP.
Yeah,
This is LL.
from a previous ACL injury. So that is something that we're paying a lot for someone we really don't know what's the outcome going to be, even though he has shown that he's performing like he should be. But we really didn't know that when he was returning. So I think having that number is kind of a little, iffy. Same with you want to 100%.
Yeah, I wanna talk about Paulo S's comment. Thank you for commenting. We really appreciate all you guys commenting. We got one more we'll mention in a moment, which is about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
This is about Mamadou Fofana. And we talked about this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And we're gonna break it down now. Paulo S says, whatever we're paying Fofana isn't worth it. He's slow, doesn't track back, and gives up PKs too often for my liking, which I completely agree with. He hasn't been.
Yeah.
He's been slower since his injury.
Yeah.
He's given up a few PKs this season, which
100%.
is never what you want to see.
So I think that so far I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Even though it isn't worth what we're paying, I think we'll go up and see what he's paying in a second.
Yeah.
But I think he's still been all right.
He's been
It's just
early on
early on in the season
he's had it down. He's been
100% since that injury.
a slump in form.
Which is why I understand this.
But then the next part is a little bit more something that I like to debate. Would love to see him traded for a striker. Would like to see Hughes getting the starts going forward.
I agree with seeing Hughes play a little more.
Yeah, Hughes should probably get some more playtime.
Yeah.
I think for his development, just overall, he's not playing for the B team. He's not playing for the first team.
Yeah.
We
got to do something with him. So I agree with that.
He needs to get more playing time. Completely agree. But trading Mamadou Fofana for a striker, I want the striker. Yes.
Yeah.
Do I want to trade Mamadou Fofana? No.
I agree.
He has been very helpful to us, especially in that early season when we had some great form.
Yeah.
And I think he's just in a slump in form right now.
Yeah.
And
He is 100%.
It's just like
unfortunate that this is what's going on. I really hope he gets better. Now listen, if this is the same thing 10 weeks from now, 10 games from now, and he's still playing this poor form,
then
maybe I would 100% agree.
Then I'm gonna start to entertain this. Like, hey, if this continues for multiple games,
we got to do something. But as of right now, I still want to give some time. I want to give him some time, and I want to see what he can do.
And he was good early season.
Yeah, good early season.
We can't.
He's still recovering a little
bit.
So.
I'm not gonna write him off just yet.
Yeah, 100%.
Do we address the elephant in the room yet?
We're gonna wait a little bit more. I think we want to address the elephant a little later.
Really?
But what I do another play I want to bring up, Andrew Farrell.
What happened there?
We want to. He's currently making 175.
He's not really playing, but
that's
I don't
kind
mind
of an
it.
elephant. It's a small elephant. I mean,
I'm not actually mad at it. He's been a Rev his entire career. He got drafted here. He is Mr. Revolution.
Yeah, he is Mr. Revolution.
Sure, he's making $175K, but it's a short contract, maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
he's on the way out, and by way out I mean retirement. He's already coaching youth teams. He's already like a youth coach in the.
Do you think it's kind of securing him to continue?
Yeah,
stay
it's
with
like
us?
He's still like an option for us. He's not going to play all that much, but he's in a player coach role with the youth teams, and so although.
But I feel like he's making that much when you have Wyatt Omsberg, who's a way better option, making 125, 137 guaranteed.
I don't mind it. He's done so much for this club overall.
Really?
That he's done so much for the Revs.
I mean, Keegan Hughes, who we want to bring up 104. I don't know. I can kind of see what you're bringing up here, But I also feel, it's too much for someone not playing.
It's just our way of thanking him for. It's part of the way we're gonna thank him for all he's done for the Revolution over the years.
Yeah.
Before he eventually retires in a year or two, whatever it is, and transitions into that full-time coach. It's just he's done so much for this club, and it was also our way of keeping him around. Maybe he might not have taken a pay cut. You never know. We don't know that. We don't know contract negotiations. We don't know how that goes.
You're right.
And so, if we want to keep him around as a player coach, that I don't mind paying him $175. Sure, it might be a bit much, but I don't mind spending that money because he's done a ton for this club.
Interesting.
And he's a great guy. And it's helping him stay around.
All right, you want to bring up the elephant?
Yeah, let's bring up the elephant.
All right, here comes the elephant. You ready for
What's
this?
going on, Jackson Ewell? How you doing, bud?
Also, first thing first, Jackson Ewell's agent. Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah,
I just want to say that first.
Go get yourself.
Go to Hawaii.
Go get
relax
yourself a
on the
steak
beach.
dinner.
Yeah.
Steak dinner. Go get yourself something nice.
Because the work that you've done for this man is top tier. Like, top tier. We're paying Jackson Ewell
DP money.
1.1 million.
DP money. Thomas Dunkley making $1 million. He's making more. 1.1.
He's making more than Yusuf. He's making more than Ceballos. More than, Langoni, Polster, Feingold, Ivic. All these players. He's making like a little, I can't believe the amount of money we're paying this guy who's been sitting on the bench for I don't even know how many games straight. The only reason he played yesterday was because Polster had an illness. That's the only reason. And he came, I was like, all right, let's see what he can do, even though I wasn't really that optimistic. What did he do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Again, just like I said at the start of the season, he's been kind of a ghost. And I can't see the Revolution. I can't see why we thinking we can pay him this much.
Well, I think so.
This much money. I don't understand.
I was hyping him up at the beginning of the season. I'll be honest. He was a younger, more well-rounded version of Polster.
1.1
he enters
million
the season
worth. I don't know.
Well,
even at the start of the season,
he's on this contract for the next 3 years.
I know. It's still.
That's bad.
That's very bad.
That's so bad.
That's terrible. I don't understand the thinking of that. I don't I just don't understand. Even if we were at the start of the season, we're like, oh, this guy might be good. Immediately signing him so that he's our 4th highest paid player right now, Jackson Ewell, who's been sitting on the bench you have Peyton Miller starting almost every game making 104.
Yeah.
But we have Jackson Ewell riding on the bench making 1.1.
Just not
This is.
It's just been bad.
It's disgusting behavior.
And
paying him this amount of money.
Sure he's injured. Sure his loan just got extended. But say he doesn't perform. Say he goes back. To Nantes at the end of the season. He's our 3rd highest paid player.
Yeah.
And he's hitting.
No, he's not. He's a 1. Well, guaranteed technically Compound is making more, but 1.3 million for someone who leave back to Nantes is kind of, again, they're top players. I feel like there's a bunch of players in the middle of this list that deserve a way pay upgrade, a raise, even if it's just a little bit. And I feel like there's a bunch of players on the top that even Carlos Hill, we can even bump him down. Like Carlos, I feel even he could bump down to 4. I feel like 4.
Yeah.
Let's we gotta save money where we can. I don't think Jonathan Kraft really wants to spend that much money on the Revs. I don't think half the time he remembers they exist.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're paying this amount of money is gonna leave us less space to buy that big striker that we not just want, but we need.
Staying on Jackson Ewell for a second, I have the MLSPA. I have the PDF version of who's making what and how much. He's making more than U.S. international Max Arfson, who's making $389. That's already a bargain for Columbus.
Yeah.
Jackson Ewell
1.1.
Almost triple.
Versus a U.S. international.
Not even almost triple.
Yeah.
More than triple, actually.
And then Jackson Ewell. Playing in Foxboro on the bench, sitting in the cold.
And
that's what we're paying him.
Micha Ilinic, slightly more, $391.
Yeah.
Who's making more? Who's making over triple than that? Jackson Ewell. Why?
What was the amount?
Is his agent?
What was the amount of money we said Messi? I forget Messi.
20.
20? So he's making what, a 20th, a 1/20th of that?
Yeah.
I think that's a scam. We're paying, I don't think Jackson Ewell is worth 100, a piece of Messi, let alone anything. I don't know. Jackson Ewell wouldn't be worth an eyebrow of Messi. And I don't know. Jackson Newell isn't worth anything in my book. And the fact that we're even paying him this amount of money. If it was $500, I would complain. If it was $200, I would complain. $100, I don't think I would complain.
He's making like $400K more than Inter Miami's starting goalkeeper Ustari. It's just like he's making.
Isn't Jordi Alba is making like, what was it, 6?
4, 6, something like that.
6.
He's making more than Ty Baribo, who's Philly's starting striker.
Right. Yeah.
He'd be a nice guy to have. He's making more than Mark Ndike, who's still already making a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why Mark. Yeah, I don't know why Mark Ndike is making 800. Like both are least favorite players.
He's making more than Kalina, the Charlotte goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, he hasn't been amazing this season, but he's the reigning goalkeeper of the year.
Yeah.
He's
100%. I just don't understand it. I don't understand the thinking of this. I don't understand the thought that went into this. Even if we thought he was going to be such a great upcoming player, and even if he did perform like to the level that we thought he would, like a better version of Matt Polster. Matt Polster's only making $625, $683 guaranteed. I feel like even like a better version of Matt Polster would only be worth like $800.
Like, how much do you think Luca Orellano is making?
Luca Orellano. Ooh.
He's like,
I don't know.
Cincinnati's star.
Yeah, Cincinnati's star. I would guess.
Should he be making more than Jackson Newell?
Yeah, I would guess more. How much?
He's making $943. Jackson Newell should not be making more than
Jackson
Luca
Newell
Orellano.
Is not even a star on our team. He's not even like our first guy off the bench.
And he's still making more than Cincinnati's star, Luca Orellano.
Like, this might be the worst contract in the league.
It's one of the worst contracts in the league. He's making more than...
Like, it's not just our team. Like, this is just, like, everyone in the league should be looking at this and being like, whoa, the Revolution would do this? What idiots. Maybe this makes some other players be like, oh, they'll pay me that much money for being bad. I might just go over to New England. Because we're not even that much of a popular destination route. But, I mean...
I don't know, I feel like New England's quite popular. Just soccer players don't want to go here because, it's cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
But,
who remembers Ryan Kent, the FIFA...
Oh, yeah,
FIFA
Ryan
go?
Kent, yeah.
He's making more than him at Seattle. He's making more than Sabby, who's at Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
He's making more than Brian White, goal-scoring machine for Vancouver. He's making more than Martin Ojeda, who scored a hat-trick against us.
I don't think he's worth more than DeMario McIntosh, who's our lowest paid, and Donovan Parisian, who's both making $81K. I don't think he's worth even that, if I'm being completely honest.
He hasn't shown it. But I think if we're going to bring him on as a bench player, I feel like his contract should be in the range, if as his role currently stands, how he should be paid is like roughly where like Wyatt Elmsberg is and like Alex Bono, like that little grouping. It's still
like
a lot.
Like 250 to like 118, like
180, like
in that area, which is still big.
Pay him like 175, and I wouldn't be too upset. It's still like a lot
for a player that we don't like at all. But I mean,
I don't get me wrong.
Jackson Newell seems like a great guy.
He seems like a great guy.
He seems like a great guy.
He seems like a guy who's rolling in money right now.
Yeah, right. And you know what? That's pretty. For him, I feel like that's a great choice. I think I'd want to be him. Like, I love playing, but like also making that much money doing nothing is kind of cool.
I'd want to be. I'd
respect Jackson Newell for that, but I also don't respect you for the way you've been performing.
I wanna.
Your performances have not been great, but I also
Jackson Newell, I want to be you. You have money. You get to be on a professional soccer team. You lived in San Jose, which is. I don't know.
Why would you want to live in San Jose?
California.
See, I don't understand the hype around California.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I've been there once.
I went there last summer. It's really nice.
Oh yeah, you went to the LA FC.
And the Copa.
Game. And the Copa, right? You saw Costa Rica, Brazil.
That was a week ago. That was a year ago. This past week, I was so sad because we're working, and I was just like,
right.
But like, he shouldn't be making that much.
No. He shouldn't. And then
he's probably a great guy.
Other players, players I want to list quickly. We got Tanner Beeson. I think should maybe make a little more. He's at 325 right now. Brendan Byatt 425. I think he could go a little under, in my opinion. Bono 250, maybe a little under. Alan Oyuwath 104.
Maxi Rudy, I think, is making the veteran minimum.
He is, I think, Also 104.
It's not a terrible contract.
Honestly, it's not. I'm not even that mad about the Rudy contract. He shouldn't be starting anyway, but also I'm not that mad at it because, I'm not that mad at it because it's not that much.
How have we not talked about Alston Yusuf? He has been great. He should be making what Jackson Newell is making. Let's just...
Alston 900, even though this is a pretty good contract in my opinion. I think it's pretty...
a decent contract.
But 850, 945
if we're
guaranteed.
Gonna do that, he should be making what
with
Jackson
the signing
Newell's
bonuses, all the guaranteed means like with the extra signing bonuses.
Can I just point out how Jackson Newell was making more than roughly $100K more than Tito Allende, who's like the Inter Miami like starlet dude, who's doing really well.
Or like what's his name, Kremecki?
He's making more than him.
Also making more than him.
God.
Luis Diaz making 104, 127 with the signing bonuses guaranteed.
It's not a bad contract.
Honestly, it's not a bad contract. I wouldn't, because I feel like at the start of the season he gave us that spark off the bench, and now, especially in that last game that we played, not versus Nashville, but the game previously when he had that chance and he just waffled it.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Going back to this now, Revs Wolf also commented. Thank you for commenting. Thank you all for commenting. Y'all got back to me so fast. No. Within like 20, 30 minutes of the game ending, I had this post out and I had 3 comments. It was amazing. So thank you guys. Revs Wolves wrote, "You was way overpaid, whatever they were getting paid. So are Porter and Analfo." Yeah, Porter's probably making a bag, and so is Analfo. They're probably making.
Well, we saw Porter thinking, "Oh, he won with Portland. He won with
Columbus.
Columbus.
Like, he can.
Why don't you? He'll come with one with us." And I've seen not that much winning.
I haven't seen what I need to see.
I would love to see some winning maybe next season.
Yeah, Ewell is
100% agree.
Scrooge McDuck over here.
Yeah, right. No, but keep commenting on everything. We love to bring this up and talk about your takes and agree, disagree, even if it's just any stats. All cool. But yeah, 100%. The list as a whole, I feel is solid.
I feel solid.
But there's also some things I would 100% change. So yeah, 100% I would change a couple things, but I feel like as a whole, it's okay.
It's a decent list.
But the thing is, Jackson Newell, that should be talked about.
Just go get a striker.
Honestly, just go get a striker. Go get a striker.
At this point, yeah.
Immediately, go get a striker.
Go get a striker. That's the takeaway message. After the entire season.
After the entire season, go get a striker.
Yeah. We thought Capano was going to be that, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No.
But yeah, make sure you guys keep commenting on the videos and the podcast.
Yeah. Love answering those.
This was great. We love answering it. I just have to remember to put out a post saying we record tomorrow.
Yeah.
Comment here.
Right.
I just have to remember to put that out. Follow us on X at Any Podcasting Net. That's where I'll post that.
Yep.
So make sure you're doing that. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. If you're on Spotify, make sure you're following. Comment
or DM
us with any comments or questions. Thank you, Leading Lights LLC, for sponsoring this episode again. Next episode should be coming out Monday. And don't forget to fill out that survey I posted. I'll link it down below as well. Make sure to fill that out.
We love hearing your responses to this and what we can do better.
And we'll start to incorporate that. I think this coming Saturday, right?
100%.
Or this coming episode. So episode 20, I think.
Yeah, I just want to say it's 20.
Yeah, so we'll start to incorporate that then. And with that, this was
Foxboro's Fortress.